Hi there, Jess in the Rada Kitchen. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we are going to whip up one of my most requested side dishes that I make for holidays and family get-togethers. This is my smoked Gouda mac and cheese. We are pulling out all the stops by adding beer and bacon to this. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and start prepping some flavor components for our sauce. So on my stove, I have some water in a big stock pot that I've salted, and it's just coming up to boil. And while that's happening, I'm gonna prep our onion and garlic. I have kept this in the fridge so that it doesn't make my eyes water, which is a great little tip to know. Get rid of that skin there. All right, so with my Rada French chef's knife, just bring my knife right across the top and then through the middle, keeping that root intact and down the top. And again. All right, now for our garlic. Smash these guys up. Whoop, there we go. Get rid of the peel. I started off making this recipe for my kids at the holidays so that they had a creamy, yummy side dish that I knew they would enjoy, but it turns out this is a favorite of most of my adult relatives and friends. So chop this up. Okay, so here in my saucepan, I have half a stick of butter that I've melted. And to this, I'm going to add my onion and garlic, and we're gonna saute these until they're translucent. All right, so here our water is boiling and it's ready for our pasta. I am using Celentani noodles. These are little corkscrews, and you can see that they have rivets on it. You could use any kind of pasta that you like. This is just the kind that I prefer. So into our boiling water, which I've already added salt to, and we're gonna cook these until they are less than al dente because it's gonna finish off in our oven and we don't want them to become mushy. So I've taken the noodles out of the hot water and strained them off, and now I'm going to add to our onions and garlic, which you can see are nice and golden brown, some flour, and we are just gonna make a really simple roux here. Stir that up with my Rada non-scratch spoon, and we're gonna cook off that flour flavor just for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and add in our milk and our beer. All right, so we're basically going to make a bechamel sauce, but we're going to add beer to this as well. So I'm going to take my milk, and I'm using whole milk, and I'm gonna whisk this in with my handy stir. And I'm just going to make sure that we don't have any lumps in our sauce. So we're gonna whisk that flour really well. A little bit more. Okay, and to this, I'm going to add an amber beer. Still whisking. You could use any beer that you like. This is just one that I prefer. Okay, so we're gonna let this come up to a simmer and we're gonna add our cheese. All right, let's season up our sauce. So here I'm going to add in some paprika. That's gonna give us a nice rich color. And I'm using as a seasonal my Rada burger and fry seasoning. A good healthy dose of that. And the cheeses that I'm using is smoked Gouda and then a sharp cheddar, both of which are grated. So just throw that in there. And I'm actually going to reserve a little bit for the top of our macaroni and cheese so that it bakes. There we go. Give that a stir. You don't need to make as big of a mess as I did, but that's all right. And we're gonna let this all come together until it's nice and smooth. All right, let's prep our mac and cheese for the oven. So here in my Rada rectangular baker, I have greased this with some olive oil, and I'm just going to put down our pasta that we've cooked less than al dente into my pan. And we're gonna top it with that rich and creamy, delicious cheese sauce. Get it all in there. Oh, that smells so good. Okay, let's just mix it up. And then we are going to top this with the rest of our cheese and some crumbled bacon. All right, so I'm just gonna give this a little shake to make sure our sauce has completely soaked into all those noodles. We are gonna top this off with the rest of our shredded smoked Gouda cheese and sharp cheddar. In total, I used about 1.5 pounds. You could use any combination of cheese you like. This is just the combination that I prefer. And that smoked cheese is gonna give us such a rich depth of flavor. Okay, to this, I'm going to crumble some bacon that I cooked earlier, about 1/2 pound. And I want some nice big chunks on here. So into my oven that has been preheated to 325 degrees for about 20-25 minutes. And there we go. So here we have right out of the oven our delicious and ooey gooey smoked Gouda mac and cheese. This will be a hit with anybody of all ages. Thanks so much for joining me today. Be sure to check us out at radacutlery.com and to subscribe to our YouTube channel.